want to say to you with all honesty that I was not displeased. In fact, when I heard about it, I silently rejoiced. The telephones in the states, in the government services. I want to say to you with all honesty that I was not displeased. In fact, when I heard about it, I silently rejoiced.
Well, it was just revealed over the weekend, you're speaking about cost.
Yeah.
Is that there are certain government departments that cannot make telephone calls because the government wouldn't pay the telephone bill. Even the ministry, the chief agricultural officer, the chief veterinary officer, the National Family Planning Program, chief fisheries officer, public health department and others, they could get in calls, but they cannot make out.
But that happened to the office of the leader of the opposition too?
Your office too?
Oh yeah, the opposition's office would just say, and that's outstanding. I think we are only receiving calls now. And those bills are to be paid by government.
Yeah, okay, and that now strengthens the debate as to why there should be no more seats.
Yeah, I mean,
we
are in serious fiscal problems in this country. Problems to do with government finances. Serious. I pointed it out in the budget debate that the budget was not sustainable because we do not have the money to do the things that we say we're going to do in the budget. That's what I mean by deficit. We do not have the cash to do all the things that the government says is going to do. Therefore, some of the things will not be done and some of the bills will not be paid.
And week before,
some projects will not be done.
Week before, government unpaid telephone bills. It is a shame to hear that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines cannot pay their telephone bills for its departments. How would the workers carry out their duties, Mr. Lynch? This is an indication of the very poor state of the Vincentian economy. Mr. Eustace mentioned that the telephone of the leader of the opposition was disconnected, and some of us are getting the impression that it is the NDP who pays the opposition leader's telephone bill. Could you please, Mr. Eustace, explain to us if the leader of the opposition or your party is paid, the opposition telephone is paid by the party or by the government? Keep up the excellent work you are doing, Mr. Lynch. Yeah, you mentioned earlier on.
There is an allocation of money for the leader of government business in the House, for his office, and the leader of government business is the Prime Minister. That is something distinct from the Prime Minister's office. He is Prime Minister and is leader of government business in the Parliament. So under the estimates that deals with the Parliament, you will find two institutions. One, the office of the leader of the opposition, and the office of the leader of government business. And both of them get the same money for their staff to pay their salaries, like my secretary, the office attendant, the cleaner in the building, the rent for the building, and so on. These are paid by the government of St. Vincent Grenadines, my telephone, and so on for the office. They are paid by the government of St. Vincent. There has been so.
Not the telephone at your home.
No.
Your office.
The office.
The leader. The office of the leader of the opposition is paid for by government.
By government. So everything in that office, supplies, coffee or whatever you have and so on, all those things are in the budget of the office of the leader, which is part of the estimate.
No, when the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, was leader of the opposition, he used to get that.
Is the NDP started that?
The NDP put that in place?
Yeah.
And like a research officer.
Yeah, that is part of the office of the leader of the opposition.
Dr. Ralph Gonsalves had that too?
Well, he had the former Chief Justice Saunders' son. He had Lyndall George at one time as his research officer. Or another time I think was Quembala. Yeah, those are paid under the office of the leader of government business. So Patel, who is my research officer, is paid under the office of leader of the opposition.
But still is paid by government.
Yeah.
To be your research officer.
Yeah.
Like how Klembala used to be paid by
Yeah,
NDP
exactly.
to be Ralph Gunz's
Exactly.
research officer.
Yeah.
Well, how Clem don't go on radio and talk all this?
No, but they won't talk that.
There's
So those
certain
things
things
are there.
they deliberately leave out of the
Yeah.
group.
So, so now we find out that although money was allocated, you approve it to pay like our telephone bill, it wasn't paid. And therefore you now face the embarrassment of can't make calls out.
I see.
So, people don't understand it. People assume that it's a thing done by the party. The party's office is distinct from the office of the leader of the opposition. They are two different entities.
The NDP
Party
party's
office is paid for by the NDP party.
I see.
The office which is sitting on the second floor of the building, not the one downstairs.
The one downstairs is the party's
That's
office.
right. That's right.
And you upstairs is the leader of the opposition. And that is paid for by government. As was done when Gunza used to be leader of the opposition.
So. Yeah.
I see.
But even when Gunza as leader of government business, he has that same facility other than his office as prime minister.
Oh, I see.
So even now, he still has an office of the leader of government business. And the bodies are voted the same for the two organizations.